Kit Kats Can Read. Hello BookTube, my name is Katie, welcome to another video, and today I am bringing you my top 14 of 2014. Before I get started, I would just like to add as a side note that these are just 14 of the books that I would put in my top section. There are more than 14 because I had a really good reading year, loads of books that were 4 and 5 stars. I barely gave anything a low rating. I don't actually think I did, if I'm honest, so this was really tough for me. So these are just 14 of some books that I really enjoyed in the year of 2014. So these are in no particular order. The first book that I'm going to start with is, of course, Don't Touch by Rachel M. Wilson. We all know I really enjoyed this book, and this is about a girl who can't touch people, but it's all in her head. So she wears gloves and she gets bullied about it, but she meets this guy who just ignores all that and tries to help her get through this. So it is a really emotional contemporary, but it's really good, it's really deep, and I just enjoyed every moment of it because you want to know why she feels like this and how she overcomes it, and it's such a good book. I really enjoyed it, and the writing and the story is just beautiful. The next book is a new adult book, and it is Unravel by Kalia Reed, and I was recommended to read this book, and thank you so much, you know who you are, but this book was so good. And it's about this girl, and she is in this mental hospital and we don't know why. I'm just really curious about it, and she keeps seeing this guy and it's haunting her, and it's so good in so many ways. Honestly, the message I would say about this book is to expect the unexpected. I didn't see so many things coming, and some people might, but it was so good. It kept me reading. The only thing I would say is there are quite graphic moments in this book about like sexual abuse and stuff, so if you can't handle that, then I don't suggest you read this, but if you can, if you're strong-willed, definitely give this a read. It was so good. The next book is, of course, not a surprise, and that is Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi, and this is a recent read of mine. It's the second book in the Shatter Me trilogy, and it was so good. There was loads of action in this book, and my love for Warner is massive, so massive. But this book was really good. Obviously I can't give too much away because this is the second book that's in a trilogy, so definitely pick up the first book if you hadn't done already. This writing that Tara has is so beautiful. It's very lyrical, very descriptive, and you are drawn in so much. And even though this was kind of a chunky book, I flew through this. The chapters are really short as well, and such a good book, honestly. This next book is also a recent read of mine, and that is Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy McGinnis, and this is a first book, and this is a dystopian that is about a world where water is scarce and some people have to pay to have it. This girl, she owns a pond, and she has been taught by her mother how to survive at a very young age. She can shoot a gun and she protects this pond with her life, but along the way she meets these other people and she learns to care not just for herself, and she also meets someone unexpected that she didn't plan to meet. But this book doesn't have a lot of action in it, and that's what I really liked about it. This book was more about the survival of the characters and their relationships between each other, and it was the writing and how it came across was so realistic that I imagined myself there, and I was also thinking, what would happen if this happened for us in real life? Like, how would we cope, what would we do? And it was just so true and meaningful, and that's why I really enjoyed it. I flew through this book and it was so good. Definitely recommend you picking this book up, especially if you really adore your dystopians. This next book is a third and final book that is in a trilogy, so of course I had to have this book on this list. The Retribution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. This is a final conclusion. Some people, when they read this after they've read the first and the second, they are still kind of confused with some things. I think that's just how the writing and that comes across. It's very confusing. Even when you read the other books, you're just like, what the hell is going on? It's crazy, it's mental, and you don't not know what to expect. And Oh, I adore this book so much. It's so good. Oh man, I love this book. I simply love it. If you haven't read this trilogy, then you really need to, and loads of people have begun to begin it lately and they are enjoying it so much as well. So I recommend you pick this trilogy up and you read it, because it honestly is so good. This next book is a second book that is in a series, and this is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. What an awesome fantasy this book is. So good. Oh my god, just the action and the writing and the storyline, it's so good. If you haven't picked this series up, then you really need to, and I know there's some people that are waiting for the whole series to be out before they can begin it. Don't wait. You need to experience the first book at least. Just read it. Oh, these books are so good, and I don't tend to warm towards fantasy too much, but my god, this book was so good and I was obsessed. I was really obsessed with this book, and the ending of this book, oh man, I need to read the third book. I need to read it. Oh, it's so good. Definitely recommend this. This next book is a contemporary standalone, and it's not actually released until February. And this is Me and Mr. J by Rachel McIntyre. I read this during the Anti-Bully Reads Readathon because bullying is a theme that is in it. And oh, this book is so good. This girl, she is bullied, she's severely bullied, but the teacher sort of helps her get through it, and she adores his teacher, she admires him, and they end up having this connection. It's a romance between a student and a teacher. Of course it is forbidden, but for some reason humans like things that are forbidden, so of course you'll be interested into reading this book, and it was so good. Very emotional, and I completely felt for the main girl character. I really did, and I really enjoyed it, and I dived into this book and I just couldn't. Oh man, I finished it way too fast. Seriously, way too fast, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much. So I completely recommend you purchasing this book when it comes out in February. Definitely do that, definitely. This next book will come as no surprise. I enjoyed it. I know some people have mixed thoughts and feelings on it. They say it's a little bit sickly sweet, but I like sickly sweet stuff. I like cheesiness, hence Harry Potter. Not gonna lie, but the first few films are very cheesy, but I enjoy them. So yes, Girl Online by Zoe Sugg, or Ghost Written by Siobhan Vivian. But let's just focus on the book, shall we? Because that is the whole point. This is about a girl, and she is a blogger, and she ends up going on a holiday and meeting this guy, and he is not who he is said to be, but he is really awesome and he changes her life. She suffers with anxiety and he sort of helps her with that, and I really admired this book and adored it so much, so I had to express my thoughts and feelings in a video review. But it made me want to blog again, and I have been on and off with blogging, but it made me want to start my own blog to be more positive, because it just made me think I am not happy enough in my life and I should really appreciate things in my life that I get, and I feel like I don't do that enough. But this book just made me realise that I need to appreciate things in my life more and be happy and stay positive. So honestly, this is a great book to read, definitely a good message to come across, very easygoing writing. It's such an easy book to read and I really enjoyed it, I know, so this will be one of my top books for this year. This next book, of course, will be no surprise. It is another recent read of mine, but it had to be in the top because this book is awesome, and it is Wicked by Jennifer L. Armentrout, a new adult paranormal with a bit of romance in, a lot of action and fae, and oh man, and this cover, can we just, seriously, it's gorgeous. But I need the next book now because this book was so good, and there were so many steamy and intimate moments in this book, but I'm glad that it's a new adult, because otherwise you wouldn't get those steamy moments. But oh, it was so good. Just, I love Jennifer L. Armentrout's writing. She is fantastic, and even her story ideas, I don't know how she does it. She's an angel in the book world, but this book is so good. This next book, it is a 2014 release, but I've got the approved copy of it, and this is Between the Lies by Jessica Shervington. I really enjoyed this book so much. This is about a girl, and she basically has 2 lives, and every 24 hours she shifts to one life, and the next 24 hours she goes back to the other life. So she's basically living 2 lives, and it's just crazy. So she has 2 different families and she does different things, and it's just like, what? But I didn't get confused between when she was switching between 2 and from them, because it's listed really well every chapter, and it was really good. And some things happen in one life that are very similar to the other, and it's really interesting, and I definitely recommend you pick this book up. It's so good. I think this is called One Past Midnight in America, and I really like the cover to that book actually. So this is the UK name, Between the Lives. But definitely pick this book up, guys, seriously. This next book is called Altered by Jennifer Rush, and my god, this was really good, and I honestly want to read the sequel straight away. And this is about some guys that are being experimented on, and there's this one that's called Sam, and he has a really great relationship with the main character, and she doesn't want to lose him. And obviously we're like, why are there experiments on these guys? And it's just really awesome, and they're really good looking as well. Like, oh my god, they are hot, like serious, like oh my god. So you cannot resist this book, but boy is it good. This next one was a contemporary that I finally got around to reading, and I'm so glad that I did. It is The Duff by Cody Keplinger, which of course is being turned into a movie. Oh my god, this book was so good, and I wasn't actually expecting for there to be quite a few sexual moments in this book, considering it is a YA, but there is, and it was really cute, really adorable, and I really enjoyed it, and I flew through this book. It's definitely one of my favourite contemporaries, and I am looking forward to the movie actually, but I hope the movie does this book justice, but this still will remain a favourite of mine. This next one is called Alienated by Melissa Landers. I was on an Alien kick after the Lux series, and I adored this book just as much. Now we have Alix, who is this sort of exchange student that the female has to look after, and oh, like I really like Alix, and just how their relationship changes and how they help each other is really cool. And come on guys, the cover of this book is just one reason why you should pick it up, but the story is so good, really interesting. It's aliens, what can I say? But I am looking forward to the sequel to this. I need it in my life right now, and I totally recommend this book to all. And this last book that I have to mention is of course a Colleen Hoover book, and this is another new adult book, and this is my first ever Colleen Hoover book. My god, this book was so good. This is Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. It's got music in it and lyrics, and you can actually buy an album that goes along with it. Oh, it's so good. Now, this is about a girl, and she has a boyfriend, but he is cheating on her. Now, this guy, he is like her neighbour, but he is deaf. And so they meet, and he asks her to help him write music and stuff. And oh, it's so cute. And of course, there are complications that are in between it, and it's really good just how they actually help each other. They are perfect for each other in so many ways, and this is just a really great romance book. My god, it's so good. I really enjoyed this. Definitely a book that I would reread. Oh, it was so good. So good. Oh, it's so good. Definitely recommend this book. If you haven't read a Colleen Hoover book, you should do the same as me and read this as your first one, because after reading this I want to read more of her other books. So guys, that is the end of my 14 books that I really enjoyed in 2014. Let me know down in the comments if you have read any of these, or if you'd be interested in these. Also, if you've done one of these, because I know they're going around BookTube at the moment, please let me know, or you can link it in the comments and I'll check it out, because I really enjoy to see what people have read in 2014. But if you can't do a list of 14, maybe you can do a list of 5 or a list of 10. Feel free to do that. Feel free to do this video if you haven't done already, because it's a really fun video to do. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching. As always, keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. Give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it, because it lets me know that you enjoy these sorts of videos. And I hope you're all having a fantastic day wherever you are, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Bye!